Hey everyone, this is Dr. Mark Scott, faculty member in the English and Humanities Department. This is one of my favorite events at SSU. We get to honor the accomplishments of our LGBTQ plus students. We get to share with our students just how proud we are of them. And to the graduates, congratulations. We're super happy for you, and we're rooting for you as you embark on the next phase of your life. And also, we appreciate you. We thank you for being students at our institution. I think you make SSU a better place to be, and I just want to thank you for being here and for the time. Christine has asked me to speak a little bit about allyship, and due to some COVID stuff, unfortunately, I can't attend tonight. So I just wanted to share a couple thoughts about allyship, what I've learned in my 48 years of trying to be an ally, not always getting it right, but trying to do the right thing. Two things. One, something should not have to happen to you or someone you care about in order for you to give a damn. I grew up in Portsmouth until I was about 11 or 12, and then we moved to San Diego, California. My dad's from Los Angeles, so I grew up with a lot of cousins around on his side of the family, and we were kind of a tight-knit little group. We would hang out and go on camping trips and vacation together, and we had a lot of fun. Also in our family, unfortunately, there was kind of a casual homophobia that was acceptable in the 1980s and 1990s. At least it was acceptable in our home. Again, unfortunately. Shortly after I graduated high school, the cousin I'm closest to, she ran away from home. She was gone for a day and a half, and her parents are freaking out. The extended family have all been made aware of what's going on. We're all freaking out, and I think on the third day she calls me, and she says, "Mark, I'm gay. I've got a girlfriend, and I'm really scared. I don't know what to do." And I didn't know how to respond. I don't remember exactly what I said. This is a very long time ago. But I think I said something like, "I just want you to be safe." And I didn't address her coming out. And I know I didn't handle it well. Like, I hung up that phone, and I'm like, I don't think I did the right thing here. My hang-ups got in the way of being a good cousin to this person I care quite a bit about. So it took that experience for me to realize that that I had some homophobia, and that that it was wrong, that I was wrong, and that it was my shortcoming, not hers, that I needed to fix. But here's the thing that I also think about: it shouldn't have taken that. It shouldn't have taken her coming out and me screwing up in order for me to realize that I've got something I need to work on. It shouldn't have to happen to you. You shouldn't have to have something happen to you or someone you care about in order for you to give a damn. Second lesson is about comfort. And comfort's great. Like when it's cold outside, I want to be indoors with my favorite fleece blanket, with my dog Luna, fireplace going, a little glass of bourbon, watching X-Files with my favorite person. That's where I want to be. But when we think about allyship, comfort's really dangerous. Comfort's a really bad thing. And being quiet and comfortable when other folks are dealing with prejudice and bigotry, that might make us feel comfortable, like we don't want to deal with that. But it really just means that other folks are going to have to fight harder. So allies are going to have to feel discomfort in a few ways. And I've experienced and continue to deal with these different kinds of discomforts. One is realizing that you're going to screw up, that you'll get some things wrong. And it's not to say it's okay. It's to say expect it. But don't expect folks in the LGBTQ plus community, or if we're talking about anti-racism work, like don't expect folks in the black community to hold your hand and to comfort you while you figure things out. They've got other stuff to deal with. We have to sit in our own discomfort sometimes in order to figure things out. And it's sometimes like a reactionary thing. Well, you made me feel discomfort, therefore you're wrong. It doesn't work like that. sometimes that discomfort is telling you that there's something you need to work on and that you need to figure out. And sometimes you just need to sit in it, and you take your lessons, you do the work, you learn, and you move on. There's another kind of discomfort that folks that are allies will probably need to experience, and that's the, actually speaking up and saying something to folks. There are people that are just flat wrong about some issues, and, if people are doing bigotry stuff, we're going to call them out on that, or we should. But what I found more frequently is that there are folks that are coworkers or that are family members or friends that say offhanded things. They make a joke about pronouns, or they tell a little joke about trans folks and they're not funny. Or they, they have an opinion about the black community and it's steeped in racism. It's harder to call those kinds of things out, or to work with those. It's harder for me to call those folks out. And I struggle with how to communicate that in a way that still invites them to have a broader understanding of the humanity of people that they don't know. How to do that. It's something I still struggle with, and it's not always a very comfortable thing, for me at least, to do. But it's something that's important for us to do nonetheless. As somebody that's kind of soft-spoken, and I don't know if Drew fights there, but I think this might resonate with him. But my grandmother had a saying: "Those who know the least seem to know the loudest." Right? As allies, we're going to have to learn, do some work. It might mean that we might need to correct people that are speaking a little too confidently, a little too loudly about things that they know very little of. Trans folks, gender-affirming care, gay marriage, the rights of folks in the LGBTQ plus community. We cannot use our comfort as a shield while folks in vulnerable situations have to deal with these things. Our comfort, we have to find spaces where we have to address that discomfort and do the right thing. So we need to think and rethink giving a damn, and we need to think about comfort and how we deal with discomfort. But that doesn't mean that there isn't joy in speaking up and doing the right thing and being an ally and trying to do our level best. There's joy in working with others to build a better future, to build more inclusive communities. And I realize a lot of what I've said so far sounds kind of pessimistic, and I think that's kind of a reflection of the moment that we're in. But these moments can pass, and there's just so much to be proud of. I had a list of accomplishments of folks in the LGBTQ plus community, and there's folks in sciences. Sarah Josephine Baker did a lot of work with health and sanitation in New York City over 100 years ago, and she reduced infant mortality by more than half in New York City at that time. Alan Hart, a trans physician working way back in the 1930s, developed methods for detecting tuberculosis. Ben Bars, a neurology researcher who transitioned in his 40s, became a noted scholar on brain research. So in the sciences, there's many more folks that I could direct you to, folks in chemistry and other fields in the sciences and in medicine that have done such cool stuff. In the arts and humanities, I'm just going to read names, amazing folks that gay, lesbian, bi, transgender folks: Frida Kahlo, Jean-Michel Basquiat, Walt Whitman, Langston Hughes, Tony Kushner, Audre Lorde, Gloria Anzaldúa, W. Somerset Maugham, Frank O'Hara, Christina, I don't know how long you have this room book for, Fran Lebowitz, Adrienne Rich, Kentucky's own Silas House, David Sedaris, Alice Walker, Oscar Wilde, Tennessee Williams, James Baldwin, Judith Butler, Helene Sixou, Rue frickin' Paul. I could keep going on here. There are just so many accomplishments to share with you. And what's staggering is that these folks accomplished all this stuff while also fighting prejudice. Imagine how much more they could have done, or what else they could have done, if they didn't have to spend energy dealing with nonsense. Utter nonsense. Prejudicial nonsense. You shouldn't have to do amazing things. Just to be super clear, you shouldn't have to do, make breakthroughs in the sciences or do groundbreaking work in literature or the arts in order to have rights. That's what makes them rights. You should be able to be mediocre. You can be mid and have rights. I think that you should be able to do that. But what I want to get across to y'all is that the accomplishments, you graduating, you accomplishing things in your programs, the things that you're going to go on and experience, and the good and awesome stuff that you're going to do from here, those are yours. You get to keep them. You take them. Nobody takes those away from you. And we're so very proud of you for those accomplishments. But I also want you to know that it's connected to a larger legacy. To all those accomplishments are connected in some way to the accomplishments of folks from the LGBTQ plus community that have come before you. A community, and don't let folks gaslight you. These folks have been, this community has been, we might have names to it now, but it's been around forever. It's been around forever. And folks have been trying to silence folks forever. Know that your accomplishments are connected to that larger community. They're yours, but they're also part of something bigger. Finally, I just want to say to our graduates, we're so very proud of you, and we're so very happy for your accomplishments. On behalf of the faculty and the staff at SSU, thank you so very much for letting us be a part of your journey.